Okay, sorry. I moved too fast.
One more. Yes.
Harley lại ạ.
Okay, right. Okay, 1, 2, start, eh? 1, 2, 3. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Good evening to all YBs in Malaysia. I'm not sure whether there's anyone from Singapore or not. But if there's any, welcome. Always, thank you so much for tuning in to our live talk on this beautiful Saturday night. Allow me to introduce myself. I think you guys know my name is Michael and we have Howard over there.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. So we'll be your host for tonight. So what we have tonight is a young, handsome Alan Lim from Penang. Yes. Alan considers himself as an amateur photographer, just like any other photographers. He has focused in photography genre and always pushing his creativity boundaries using recording equipment. The only genre that he can't do, according to him, is underwater. The reason simply because he cannot swim. Just go and swimming, okay, Alan?
I can't do anything. I can't swim. I stay in the island. People told me.
Let's learn.
Kind of like too old to learn.
Ayo, uncle can swim, you cannot swim.
That's why.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me share my screen. Okay.
Hello, Glass Chang. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Glass. Okay, you guys able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be presenting something like this because I included a few video inside there. So just now we try it out. The only way for you to able to see the video is through this format. Okay. And first of all, I mean, it's like, of course, I mean, I have to thank to Michael and Howard, I mean, for bringing into Yellow Booth platform to talk about smartphone photography. And I have to be very frank. I mean, I only took like 3 to 4 days because the earlier invitation when Michaels and Howard sent to me talk about this smartphone photography, I thought they are joking. So and at the same time also I'm helping this Sunseeker to do their platform for tomorrow also. So I'm a bit rushing here and there for time also. So I'm apologize if let's say my presentation is not as good coverage, or I mean I miss out a lot of things or something like that, or I hope you'll forgive me lah. Okay. I have to start with that. Okay. To move that aside, okay, the first things that to talk about smartphone photography, I believe that a lot of us, I mean, always have a smartphone with us, right? Whether it's iPhones or Samsung, Vivo, Oppo, all those things. And the question, I mean, it's not whether is how do I say, whether it's can replace SLR, mirrorless, or anything like that, but it's more towards how far the technology has gone, and also why are we not confident in using smartphone in photography in our lifestyle. Okay, hold on. Okay, alamak, I need to make it a bit smaller. Oops. Hold on, sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
Slow.
Okay. So basically, I believe a lot of us, I mean, our smartphone, the current smartphone we are using is not the first smartphone, right? I believe that you also, like me, have like a few units, and I'm only on this slide, I'm showing you some of my old Android phones only, starting with Android. Okay, I don't put in anything like Windows mobiles or those Palm or anything like that, or Symbian phone, all those things. All those are very quite old phones. I'm gonna start with Android.
Okay.
Okay, the first Android, of course, is the HTC Incredible 2. Then I started to play around. I mean, like with Android, and this phone, I mean, the camera is quite terrible. I would say that, but it works. You just capture something just to pass message right to the other people, right? I mean, this is location I'm at. Okay, this is the product I want or something like that. I mean, it can show you the image. And then, of course, after 2 years, once the contract, I mean, the phone contract completed, I took Samsung S4. And Samsung S4, I mean, it's the first time when I look at the camera at these smartphones, right? It has a very outstanding outdoor camera. Okay, I will show you some sample later on. But when you are using it indoor, terrible. If there's not enough light. Of course, after S4, another 2 years, okay, I'm supposed to get another new phone contract. I decided not to go to Samsung again. Okay, I mean, I want maybe try it out other phones lah. So called then I got like Samsung Zenfone 2. It's a flagship phone. Okay, everything S4 is a flagship. That time there's no notes anything S series. Then Zenfone 2 is Asus flagship phone, and this phone caused me a depression. The camera is really terrible, outdoor and indoor. It's like when I use, I'm keep on complaining. My friends is like say, hey, stop complaining lah. Me buy a new phone or something like that lah. Yeah, because I mean comparing S4 and Zenfone 2, right? I mean it's like I'm looking at like huge gap difference the image quality. But the next question is like, why not I go to S6, right? I mean that's after 2 years. I skip usually generations, but at least remember that Samsung decided they want to be like Apple. They don't have like micro SD, only give you 32 gig of storage. That's not enough for photograph because S4 I fill up my micro SD when I put 32 gig. I'm having fun taking picture using S4. So and then so happened after a while 2016 Samsung S7H comes out. So decided I mean I did some friend, I mean, usually I asked him to, can you send me one indoor pictures? Send me through emails, and he sent it to me, and it's like I'm quite impressed. It's like the S7H is like the quality is got micro SD, all those things. So I decided, even though my Zenfone 2 is like 2 years contract, even it's like 1 year, I decided to chop off and then move on. I pay the penalty and take a new phone, S7H. And from S7H, I'm very happy with it. The image quality goes back indoor and outdoor, and it's better performing comparative to S4, right? But at the same time, I bought a cheap phone lah. Mi 4A is like 500 phone because for me to play games. Okay, and then you see there's a trend there. I usually have like a few phones because for many purpose. Then at the year 2019, that time I'm using S9 Plus also. Okay, but that particular moment, Xiaomi, they have a promotion. They give you a loaner phone to try it out, and then you write a review. And if you want to buy, they'll give you a very cheap price for those reviewer. So I am so happen to be one of the review for this phone. I'm quite impressed with the image quality compared with Note 10 Pro and also Samsung S9 Plus, which I'm using at that particular moment. But still, S9 Plus has this image detail quality more than Mi Note 10. But Mi Note 10 Pro, I mean, the price is a lot cheaper. And S9 Plus, I think it's like more to 4K, right? This Mi 9 Pro is like 2K plus only. So consider the price is, would say, acceptable. Okay, next slide. This is my 3 current phone I'm using. You might ask, why so many phones?
Heavy, man.
Kind of heavy, especially this Poco X3. Okay, there's a few reasons for it. S9 is my old phone, as mentioned just now. I'm about to obsolete it, but still is usable, so I continue use it. Okay, but this thing about this S9, there's no wide angle camera on it. I'm going to slowly phase out, and I only use this phone majoritarily for playing Pokemon Go. Okay, those who want to play Pokemon, you want to add me, right? You can lah. I got 3 accounts, so that's why 3 phone, 3 account. Okay, my second phone, after a while, because I found out AMOLED screen has, especially Samsung, had the tendency of burn out, not burn in, burn out. Because I mean, you remember that AMOLED Samsung, when they do dark mode, their navigation bar is still white. So white kills AMOLED screen. It's just like bulb. You keep on white, keep on open, so you're becoming weak and weak and weak. And when you have like a colorful things or something, you'll see that how come there's a shadow. So that's the AMOLED disadvantage. So I decided to buy a phone just to play games using LCD. That is a Poco X3 NFC. It's cost about 999 under promotion that time. But it's a very heavy phone. Frankly speaking, I'm telling you. But it comes with a 3 camera setup, which is quite good. Also, I mean, it has an ultra wide angle, which my Samsung doesn't have. Then the storage, everything is like quite good. And currently, beside using this as a playing games phone, right, is my drone screen. Especially when I flying drone, I use a separate phone. I don't use my main phone in case somebody calls me and then my drone disconnect or something like that, right? So I try not to have that happens. So when I fly drone, I use a separate phone screen. And right now, Oppo Reno 5 Pro 5G, about 1.6K after contract price. It's a 24 installment from DG. It's a 3 times camera setup. But one thing, there's no RAW. Samsung S9, that is a RAW image. But it comes with 8 gig and 256 and no micro SD. This is my current setup, 3 phones. Okay. Okay, when we are choosing phones, I mean, of course, we have to decide what type of phones you want to go through. Okay, first is features and also the target price. But of course, the most important is the target price. It's really depending on your budget. I mean, if your budget is unlimited, right? Oh, sorry, Bunchu, I'm making you sleep, right? Sorry, yeah. Interesting part is behind.
Sorry,
This is just
I'm a little tired today.
yeah. Just a joke, just a joke. Okay, I mean, it's the target price. Of course, if you're, I mean, you have unlimited budget, right? You can buy 6,000 phone, 7,000 phone or anything. I mean, iPhone also now come with 7,000, 8,000, right? Samsung foldable phone or something, 7,000, 8,000. It's really up to you. But for me, is it worth it or not? Because that's the reason why when Samsung S9 or S7 starting to like 3K or 4K, right? I mean, for me, I starting like to think, hey, I'm paying too much. Yep, the screen is like a 4K or quad K or something, right? But at the end of the day, I'm only using full HD. It's more than enough for 6-inch phone. Anything more is like wasting battery and it's overkill. So it goes back to the features: processor, camera, what type you want, memory. Nowadays, I think 1,000 phones even have a 6 gig memory. Screen, of course, as mentioned, you want OLED screen or LCD. It's depending on what you want. Resolution, HD. Don't go for HD resolution nowadays. Okay, get a full HD minimum. Screen size, 5-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch. I mean, it's really depending. And of course, storage, 128, 256, 512. The more the merrier, of course, but are you willing to pay? And then the network. I don't think you want to get any phone with a 3G lah. At least you want to get a 4G and now maybe add on a 5G because Malaysia will be turning off a 3G, right? So this is something that you need to take into consideration when you're choosing a smartphone. I'm just taking an example, this slide, a very quick one. Okay, let's say you're targeting like a 1K smartphone. A basic entry phone, I mean, at this price, usually they will cut down a lot of features, I mean, here and there. So you have to be very careful. Because I keep on buying phones, usually like 1K and 1.5K. So I did my research, what I want, and I'm helping friends what to buy. But I would say that budget yourself 1.5K. Don't budget yourself 1K. Okay, like for example, if you budget yourself 1K, what you'll get Poco X3 Pro is a Mi sub brand. Yeah, good processor, 60 gram, 128 storage, fine. 3 times camera setup, fast charging, 33 watt, but you get the LCD screen. And also no 5G. LCD screen, I mean, if you're already as a main phone, I don't really recommend because it's kind of a bit heavy lah. Try to get AMOLED, right? But for me, I mean, it's a second phone, so I get a LCD screen just to play game for that particular. And then if you get another model 1K, Poco M3 Pro, it's a same brand. You want 1K, but you'll get a worse processor. You can see, 6 gig, 128, but right now you see the water down, 2 camera setup, no ultra wide angle. You get a full HD AMOLED screen. Just now you get LCD, but the charging is only 18 watt technology. And the worst phone I'm gonna have to tell you is Samsung Galaxy M32. Samsung, for my opinion, they still think they are the head of their games, ahead of their game of others, but actually they are behind. You can see you're paying 1K, you only get the worst MediaTek processor. It's a G series, not even a Dimensity, not even a Snapdragon. And the worst one is you get a HD screen AMOLED. 6 gig, same thing, 3-time camera, 25 watt. But this two is the deal breaker for me. Okay. Next, okay, my target phone, as mentioned, usually I'm looking at the 1.5K. Of course, I mean, if you have budget, more 2K is better, but 1.5 should be quite reasonable. Usually you'll get a MediaTek Dimensity 1K series or Snapdragon 700 series, full HD screen. If you are main phone, try to get AMOLED, 6 gig minimum, 128 minimum storage, 3-time camera setup. Okay. For my case, I must have an ultra wide angle. Okay, this is a must. Raw, optional. Okay, the apps I use, in fact, it's quite simple apps only. WhatsApp, MS Team for work, Facebook Messenger, Facebook, Instagram, Gmail. 2 games that I'm currently play a lot, Clash of Clans and Pokemon Go. But Pokemon Go is the one that killing my battery and the screen time and all those things. Yep. I don't play PUBG, so if you are playing AAA games, all those the things, I'm not so sure whether 1.5K phone is enough or not. But for normal at a good user, right? And also for photography, 1.5K is sufficient. Okay, the next question I would say that people will ask, why use phone for photography? I mean, you got your SLR, full frame, 3.5 mm, you have like 1.4 lens, 70-200, 2.8, all those setup, right? But can you bring out your camera all the time? Even you go to shopping complex or maybe sometimes you go like outside just for a while, but there's a nice picture. You go back to your car to take out your camera. By that time, the people already gone, right? So nowadays, I mean, it's like smartphone replace most compact camera. Last time you have like a spare small compact camera together with us. If you want to take picture, I mean, with Nokia 3310, all those things, I mean, don't have camera. I mean, for my case, I usually will keep a small compact camera just in case I want to take any picture. So I will just snap it. But nowadays, smartphone replace compact camera. Okay, the image quality for smartphone is good enough. Trust me. I'll prove to you later on. Image resolution is also good enough. Okay. It's convenient, as mentioned. It's in your pocket most of the time. Don't say you don't have. 90% would have because you have to use my Sujatra to scan here and there, check in, check out, remember? Okay. So you can instant upload. I mean, your Facebook, you can upload to your Instagram, all those things. I mean, your food photography. Oh, today I take food. I mean, it's quite creative also. I mean, it's still a skill, frankly speaking. Even a girl taking a selfie is a skill. You try to make a selfie, frankly speaking, it's very hard. Okay. And nowadays, 1.5K smartphone camera usually come with a manual mode. Okay. yes, you cannot control the aperture. The aperture is stagnant, but you can control the ISO, you can control the speed. Okay. And certain model, as mentioned, it comes with a raw file. And I can share to you later on. The raw file actually is useful. It can help you in terms of getting back your highlight. But of course, as mentioned, don't think it's like this a Sony sensor or Canon sensor, all those things. I mean, it has its own limitation, but as mentioned, goes back to number 2 and number 3. It's good enough. And then, of course, number 6, smartphone is also like a computer. You can on the spot editing. You can use Snapseed, right? I think a lot of people use Snapseed apps for that. Okay, different format ratio. Hey, some people like square. I will show you a few cameras. Different camera give you different formats. Some is like long, some is like square, some is not like our usual 3x2 formats. So it give you a different ratio. I mean, it's like, oh, okay, it's fun. And then instant change of focal length, not missing a shot. 3 camera setup, remember? Ultra wide, standard wide, and sometimes it give you a tele and a macro. You just switch your camera setup. You no need to change lens. Sometimes like, oh, I need a wide angle, I change, but the people go away already. But smartphone, built-in three camera for you inside there. And number 9, nowadays a lot of photography and videography competition accept smartphone pictures, and some only put photography and videography using smartphone allowed. And this already I am seeing a trend. That's the reason why keep on choosing have a few smartphone for that particular purpose besides playing games lah. Okay. A controversial subject gonna come out next slide. Regardless you are a fanboy of a certain brand, I don't care. Okay, but just when you want to buy a smartphone or anything, try to get your friends that using, send you an image. Okay, if possible, capture together with your current smartphone that the picture quality that you accept, right? Take a picture together, then ask him or her, can you send me that image in emails? Not in Facebook Messenger, not in WhatsApp, in email, because you're gonna have a full resolution. And a lot of these smartphones nowadays, you can see they try to fake it out, put a Leica sticker, Hazelblade, Zeiss, all those things. How good is it? Right? I mean, it's like some people just say, oh, my smartphone is Leica, man, Leica. But I'm going to show you something. That's why, as mentioned, it's going to be very controversial. Okay, these 2 images. One is taken by Huawei P9 with a Leica sticker. I will say that. Another one is Samsung S7H. If you look at this, you won't see anything, right? Looks the same. Okay, let me do 100% cropping for you.
But the sky different, the sky color tone.
Yes, I mean, of course, different exposure. We have given you a different color, all those things, right? But that is not that important because you can still adjust color, vibrance, all those things in your Snapseed later on, right? But the most important, the detail must be there for you to play around. If the detail is not there, how are you going to play? And I'm taking 100% crop this particular rubbish. Okay, you can see, right? This one. This is how it looks. I have to take from my Facebook last time when I do a comparison. You can see P9 Plus, the grass become watercolor. But S7H, you can still see some details on the grass. It's 100% crop. And both of this camera is 12 megapixel. So resolution is not an important criteria. Okay. And then, yep, another one. This is so happen Huawei come up with another replacement for their P9. Their P series and their Note series is for photography for Huawei last time. Okay, P10 versus S7H. So in other words, my S7H is like a few years obsolete already, right? And Huawei is the megapixel for P10 is higher. 100% crop. This is Samsung. This is Huawei. Can you see the leaf is very blur? The tiles also is like they do a lot of noise reduction, so a lot of this tiles is gone. Another picture. You can see here. Usually, I mean, in swimming pool, right? They are using pebbles, right? But for Huawei, the noise reduction, they are applying too much until the pebbles become cement. Yes. So in other words, if possible, when you want to buy a camera, try to capture. Then you can make a comparison. So the next, I goes back, is smartphone raw image useful or not? I mean, it's such a small sensor, right? You will say that, hey, not much useful. But actually, it's kind of useful if you know how to use. Okay, camera raw is come in DNG. Photoshop, you can open and you can tweak. You can tweak your highlight, shadow, texture, dehaze, whatsoever. Can be done. No issue. Okay? This picture is taken, you should know it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock already at night. Okay, and you imagine that this is the quality from the smartphone. If you have a very good camera smartphone. Okay, the detail here you can see is still there. I can really put this is 100% so-called screen capture.
Which camera? What phone is this?
Samsung. Hey, it's up there. Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. So I prove my point, right? Okay, hold on. Okay. Go something in next. Portraiture. A lot of people, a lot of times, I think we use our smartphone, I mean, just to capture landscape, but actually you can use for portraiture also if you really know how. The detail is there. Okay, for example, I take this picture. Okay, this picture is I'm using Samsung S7H. Very old phone, you know, very, very old, right? S7H is like a 20 something years phone already. Now we are like at S20, some 21. This is S7. How many generation over already? Okay, you can see when I'm capturing this one image in JPEG only, not in RAW, in JPEG. I'm doing 100% crop. Is it acceptable? This type of image quality? Anyone complain that, oh, it's very blur, I cannot see the detail? It's more than enough for a smartphone, small sensor, right? You can see I did not do any noise reduction on this picture. It's as it out from camera. You can see her makeup defects, even this double eyelid tape, everything is there. Even her pores, I mean some pores, I mean blackhead pores, right? Okay, by right, maybe we should have like noise reduction, make it smooth, all those things, right? This is before editing. Remember, this is JPEG, 100% crop, 12 megapixel. If you say it's not acceptable, I do not know how to say it anymore. Of course, yep. Even with smartphone, it's very light. I just use my hands up, I can have a high angle, right? And then I just ask her to look up and just push for me. And why not? This is shoot also using smartphone. In fact, I just shoot it last few days just for this presentation purpose. I asked a girl to help me. Say, hey, can you come up? I mean, I just want to show something. If you are the person who like to use wide angle to shoot landscape portraiture, right? Smartphone is more than enough. It's like 16 mm. Of course, it's not like 12 mm, right? Is it acceptable? The detail, everything, her skirt, everything, the tree, everything, the leaf, acceptable. Of course, I did play a bit of tricks over here. It's after Photoshop because when I shoot this time, the lighting is not that good.
This one is again Samsung?
No, it's a Oppo Reno 5.
Mm.
Okay, the same things goes to here. Is it acceptable? Yeah. Can I print out in 8 by 12? No issue. Okay. Standard things that we all use our smartphone. I think landscape is pretty easy. Wherever we go, we just tap, 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 right? Okay. As mentioned, different ratio. It looks like a panorama, but it's not panorama. So, I mean, like, your smartphone is giving you different ratio. I mean, different feel. And this photograph, I just won some award. Okay. When I do this thing, I receive some emails. Next, okay, another, this is Samsung, different square. You can do framing in shopping complex. I mean, when you're using smartphone, they won't ask you a lot of question. I mean, they just let you capture. If you're using big phone, the security will say, apa lu buat? And also, yeah lah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's like very convenient. And of course,
Alan, later show with us. I mean, share with us how you can do those competition, and then you know, and you get to win or to win some award. Yeah. I mean, later on.
okay, yeah, Michael, I think your sound is not that good, no?
Oh,
It's
is it?
like yeah. Okay, and these 3 pictures, also using smartphone, is edited. Okay, detail is there. I don't have any complaint to print it out. And of course, yep, this is Oppo Reno 5 also. I'm trying to do some panning shot. Can, no issue. It's depending how you want to use it. Depending on your skill and how you want to control your camera.
Editor, not this one.
No. It's Oppo Reno 5 there, the word.
We all control.
Okay. What's that?
We can throw away our camera.
Sorry, Michael. Yeah. Okay. This one I think is the famous Penang sibling bicycles. I think it's nice. Okay, I just take pictures on it. Every detail is there. No issue. Okay. Sunset near in front of my house. Usually I can see a lot of sunset. This picture also win me award. Just some emails just out. So in other words, I already show you 2 images that I win award without knowing. Frankly speaking, when I do this slide, I just insert. I didn't know, but I did submit, but I did not know the result. But these few days, the result keep on coming out, and they say, "Hey, this picture and this picture is out. Can you send me the higher resolution or something like that?" Yeah, no issue.
Alan, some question from Kwan. He asking how big is the how high from handphone?
I think it's already. I mean, 12 mega is like 4 or 5 mega. One photograph. I mean, in JPEG.
MB lah, MB okay.
Yeah, MB. But if you use raw DNG, I think it's higher. You can get maybe 10 or something MB files.
Okay. Kwan okay Kwan. Okay, Kwan.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, the next one. This is 2013. I did something crazy as usual. I always push my equipment or tester or equipment or cameras up. I always try to be funny with my things lah. I mean, to push it. This is a panorama shot. It is not a single shot. I mean, the ratio I told you, right? I mean, camera format. No, this is a panorama. Then you're asking you, 100% crop. Is it acceptable? And it's not all phone able to do that. I have to tell you. only so far I'm looking is like a Samsung S9, S7. Reno, I have not tried it out yet. The software intelligence for Samsung is very good. They knows how where to merge. Asus Zenfone one koyak, frankly speaking. Especially when I say koyak one is okay. You see this wire line. Okay, Samsung one you'll be very smooth. It's like attached like one line, but Asus one you'll see a broken line. So it's great depending on the how smart is your smartphone lah.
But it's also how good when we pan it, isn't it, with our
Yes,
hand?
yes.
Yeah, if you pan it at the same, I think at the same working line, I think it will work better. Yeah.
Yes and no. Even Asus, you do that, you will not get the same result. So it's sometimes it's really depending. I mean, based on my experience on these few phones lah, when I try to push their phone capabilities lah. So sometimes it's depending on their brand's intelligence also.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yep, 100% crop.
What is the size of this picture when you 100% crop? Was it a 4R? Was it 3R?
Well, it's more than 4R. Definitely, if you can 8x12, no issue.
Okay.
Unless you have a very long printer lah. I mean, I don't have lah. I mean, that's the problem with panorama lah. I mean, it's like how to print.
Can send it to Ang. And Ang Suket. Yeah, he can help.
Okay, another panorama. This is still S4. Okay, the only things that the mistake for this phone when you do, like you see the bird wings, I did not edit anything. I just want to show you the mistakes. Because too fast movement, the phone also not that intelligent anymore. But overall, if let's say nobody is running, everybody is just walking slow or something, right? No issue. This is one shot. You do not need to attach like using Photoshop to attach one by one, right? No need. Direct. Okay, cultural and street shooting. I think this is also the same thing, but there's a human element inside there. Okay, was covering this temple opening. This is Kawongya temple. In Raja Uda when they are moving old temple to new temple. So I got the permission to take pictures and to cover their events lah. This thing. So after taking a few shots of my using camera, of course I start to use my smartphone to use. And considering, I mean, the quality of smartphone and also at the SLR, right? I mean, this highlight for sure we will go on one highlight because they are shining lights from outside to here. So this one, the highlight is very, very high. So what I see from smartphone and my camera, nearly the same. And if you got 100%, right, you can print 8x12, no issue. I can guarantee you. I mean, my standard quality is 8x12 lah, huh? Minimum requirement lah. Okay. Hungry Ghost Festival. I think those people who attend this one should know it's about 10 o'clock. And this is the image quality I get. Acceptable? Yeah.
I believe this is one second or 2 second exposure. Correct?
I can't remember lah. It's point and shoot. Frankly speaking, I didn't even use manual mode. It's a point and shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to say there's a noise here? I say hello. At night already, eh? I saw lah, of course. If this you cannot accept, I do not know already. But I mean, if you want to play around, the noise add character to the pictures.
Which phone do you use for this one?
This one, I believe, is a S9 Plus also. Because on that time, I don't have a Oppo Reno yet. Yeah, but right now I'm using a lot of Oppo Reno lah. I mean, just to test it out, to push it out, how far can it goes? Okay, because I try not to buy Samsung phone because it's too expensive. Can't really afford. I mean, my target is like 1,500, and I want to push for 1,500, and the technology for 1,500 phone is like it's quite good lah. I mean, if you really know how to use lah, but you have to use it and try to I mean, it won't be easy. Just like when you're buying SLR, you have to really keep on trying and pushing your equipment to know what's the pro and how far it can go. If you buy a equipment but you just left it in your dry box or anything, you won't really know the how good it is lah. I would say that at different environment. Okay, event shot. This one I have to download from my Facebook because I can't remember where I put all these pictures lah. Okay, so yep. After capturing this at the event, at the cosplay event, so I was covering for my friends cosplay. So after taking few shot camera, I mean as usual, then I say like, hey, why not I try using my S9 Plus to take, and of course this picture edited with a noise reduction. Okay. But can you accept or not this type of quality?
And
it's a non-paying job.
what else
What
we
do you
expect,
want?
isn't it? Yeah, lah. Yeah, it's not noisy at all. The pictures are very clear, very
Yeah,
very
but
sharp.
if you really want to complain, you can say lah. I mean, it's too smooth lah. I mean, that's the only thing if you really want to complain. But I say like, I noise reduction only. That's it. Yeah, I do that. But I believe it's acceptable lah. Okay, next.
For documentary purposes, definitely acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's more than enough. I mean sometimes when we I mean of course this is because I have some special privilege in front of the stage, and also of course when you doing this type of photography, I mean you have to be a bit brave lah. I mean if you are new, your camera everything will be a bit shaky, right? I mean you'll be concerned, hey, whether I can take or not or something like that. But for me it's different. I already got picture on my SLR for the organizer, but this one is just for me to play around additional. So I use my smartphone, try to push the limit, and this is the result. So when people say smartphone cannot take event, I say like, yeah, I got proof, can. It's really depending on how you use it. Okay, next, decoration. It's quite simple. See anything nice on the wall, on the floor, on top, bottom, right, left, or what, take. You're not wasting any shutter. And it's quite nice. I mean, this smartphone photography. Next, this is looking from top view. It's shoot at Gurney Paragon, and I believe they're having a Christmas decoration. So I just look up and shoot. This is during the Hungry Ghost Festival, the one they're making paper puppets. So just taking a few shots instead of camera. Sometimes not bad. Okay, next, time lapse. Yes, you can use your smartphone to do time lapse in shoe. Okay, and this sample I'm going to show it to you is I'm using 100% using smartphone. Of course, when you're using time lapse, right, purpose is more towards like making video. Okay, this is the purpose. Okay. Okay, if you are using your normal camera, you'll be wasting about 600 shutter. Gone. Just like that. Just for a few minutes time lapse, right? But I'm using smartphone. I don't waste any shutter.
Only battery.
Yes, battery, power bank.
Power.
Put a power bank beside. That's the most important. And those people who knows that I'm taking this one because of our photo competition also, because they are using time lapse. So when I goes there, I have to have a lot of devices at different location. So I don't waste time traveling. It's quite a distance lah. So I have like 7 or 8 cameras at the different angles shooting at the same time. Okay, the next is I'm using 50% smartphone. I mix with action cam and also DSLR. The reason why, because certain range smartphone cannot get. Okay, you tell me which range when you see this video.
Batu Maung.
Okay. Do you notice any shot from cameras or smartphone or anything? Yep. This resolution I have to like squeeze down to fit into this PowerPoint. So if you are saying that the resolution is not good, it's not because of that, because I have to downscale it. Okay, it's a mixture. And the next one, okay, smartphone. Do you know that it can do burst mode? And burst mode, you can do a time lapse also. Okay, the next question I'm going to ask you, do you want to watch a normal mode or headache mode? I did two versions. One mode, I when I look at it, it's like a bit headache lah. So you want a headache mode or a normal mode? Okay, I give you the headache modes lah.
Both.
The extreme one. Headache.
Both.
Okay
What the
lah.
hell is headache mode?
Can we have both?
You want to have both okay lah. I mean it's just a bit different lah, but okay. This is the normal mode when there's like a bit more stabilized in it. Okay. I don't think you want to watch the headache mode. No need lah. Okay, that also I'm using burst mode, handheld. Okay. And when you look at it, right, usually when I go out, I mean this time when I feel like safe, I will use 2 or 3 cameras. You can, in fact, you can see one action cam in front below there if you really notice. Okay, but I mean this time lapse burst mode is using time lapse. I believe like 100 pieces pictures I have to like compile. So I save shutter. And this camera, this phone is a Mi 10 Pro. When I'm reviewing it, I'm shooting it because it has an ultra wide angle. My S9 doesn't have. Okay, the next one. Smartphone, slow motion. Okay.
This one burst mode.
Not
Is it-
burst mode, slow mo.
Slow
It's a
mo.
video. Yep.
Slow is a slow video.
This one without any edit.
This is the bustler.
Yes, buskering, occupy B Street.
Yeah, you have a very steady hand.
Yes.
I believe you have not eaten any chicken feet.
Yep.
Very
Okay.
steady.
So you can see, I mean, you can play a lot of things with your smartphone. I mean, you don't have to like wait for your your A7 or your Canon R5 or R6. Oh, I must have big camera to go do a slow motion things or something. No, this one I'm using S7H. Okay, as mentioned, advantages, you save a lot of camera shutter when you're doing time lapse using smartphone. And of course, I mean 4K videos. I mean it's like quite a while already. I mean we have like 4K. I mean ever 7H, all those things right before. Even my camera 5D Mark III is only full HD. Okay, what other things you can use on your smartphone? Okay, play around. That's the thing. Why not? I mean, meet friends. There's an app for you to play around. See some girls can take selfie and friends also. And then I mean, you go to seminars, not paying attention. You can play around on the back. Okay, documentary also. This is a Russian girls. I mean, he's doing a mural. I mean, did a lot of murals in Penang. I mean, beside the Ukraine mural, I mean, she's one of the so-called popular one. So I'm using 600 mm to shoot from a long distance, and I just document it just to show. Okay. If I using like a 70-200, I will be something nearer. I will shooting her butt up, right? But if I'm using 600 mm, I can have a level view. Next, another documentary. As mentioned, usually when I goes out, I shoot time lapse. Another one I use for camera, so I have a multiple camera setups. Okay, smartphone as a camera.
Sorry,
The more
sorry,
Yeah.
Alan. Where do you shoot? Where do you shoot that? Where do you shoot from just now?
Which one?
The Galaxy.
Galaxy is somebody is a flat lah, but you need the touch and go to go up lah. Nowadays they have like these securities no longer like you can just go up there and shoot lah. And you have to have at least 200 mm lah. I mean for this lah. I think usually people have lah, not an issues lah. And this angle you'll see the Goddess of Mercy looking back at you like say hello. Okay, smartphone as a camera. I would say yes if you buy the right models. If you buy the wrong model, as mentioned, if you have a Leica sticker, I mean, of course, you're going to have a blurry screen. But then again, nowadays, phone, I mean, don't just trust is a Leica or is a this. Hold on, my alarm went off. If possible, get an image and then compare with the best image of your smartphone. For me, because right now my benchmark is still S9 plus as the benchmark of image quality. If let's say it's like somewhere around less 5%, 10%, the image quality is considered acceptable for me because I'm paying the price of 1,500 rather than 3,000 or 4,000 or 6,000, right? So unless your this budget is unlimited, then you can buy whatever you want, even like 1 terabyte iPhones, 7,000, 8,000. You could do that. It's not wrong, but for me, I think it's a waste of money, lah. Especially, it's even buying S9 plus. The screen. The marketing say the screen is like high resolution 4K or 8K or something, right? But I'm using only full HD. It's more than enough. If I use more than full HD, I'm wasting battery. And the screen is like, there's no point. The sharpness for 60-inch screen, you are going more than full HD. You won't really see the difference. And yes, smartphone as a camera, yes, because nowadays a newer competition for video and photo, they sometimes require camera phone rather than SLR. So there is a market for it. If you are into competitive photographies. And as mentioned also, as so many sample, I'm sure even you just want to shoot it for landscape, all those things, the quality is there already. Okay. You have to take your imagination. SLR maybe towards a few 10 years ago, SLR when you're shooting JPEG. Nowadays, people think like, oh, I must shoot raw, right? But last time, when compact flash card 256 meg only, you have to imagine that you only shoot a lot in JPEG, right? 6 megapixel, you want to compare with this smartphone, is okay, not an issue. And the next question, can smartphone replace DSLR or mirrorless SLR? In short, no, you can't. Okay, but then you say, hey, Alan, you say so shocked just now. Oh, 1, 2, 3 can shoot this, can shoot that. Now you say cannot. It's like, wait, you're putting a reverse gear or U-turn, right? Yes and no. In short, it's no. But in future, even DSLR or MSLR can improve also, because right now this smartphone, they are playing tricks. They are using computational imaging, which SLR and mirrorless haven't gone to that level yet. And I believe that sooner or later, this our camera, right, DSLR and MSLR will have this computational. Right now, we are talking about eye autofocus, bird eyes, all these things, all that thing, blah 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 things, right? Yeah, but computational firmware or processing is not inside our camera yet, but it's already inside handphone. But that's the reason why smartphone photos come out so good, can be used. Okay, good enough. I would say that good enough. In other words, for me, I would say that smartphone complement to your DSLR, your MSLR, your drone, and your action cam. Okay, use it. Don't. Like for me, as mentioned, when there is like a competition or something, I use all my equipment, 7 or 8, 9 equipment I have. I use it all. I don't care how I use it. Is it's like when you say, some people say, yeah, small sensor quality no good. I say I can use it. No, it's depending on how you use it only. And then of course, smartphone do not have the versatility as a cameras. You can't. Right now, it's kind of like strobing flash, all those things, right? All those accessory. Small sensor. You need to edit. Even I shoot event, that one. That's a very good lighting. But I need to do a lot of additional works lah. Okay. But if you are using our bigger sensor camera, of course, it's better lah. But what I'm saying, don't forgo smartphone in your pockets lah, which can help you also. Okay, any Q&A? I think that is the
There are quite a number of questions. Howard, would you mind just read out?
KK Kwan, did you try using smartphone to shoot moon?
No, because what's the point? Okay, even smartphone, I think shooting the moon, there's a bit of controversial coming out from last time. Especially on Huawei phone, I mean, when they had like how many K, 50K or I mean 50X or something, right, to shoot the moon. In fact, somebody already found out it's a fake one. Okay, it's already, the image is inside your phone or something like that. So that's the reason why it becomes so sharp. But even on my camera SLR, I don't really shoot moon because I feel like, what's the point?
Okay.
Unless I'm doing something with a foreground things, yes lah. I mean, I'll shoot the moon together with this lah. But slowly shooting the moon, I did that before. Don't say never done that. But for me, it's like, what's the point? Okay, I mean, maybe it's for fun lah. I mean, you guys want to test, it's okay. No issue. Go ahead, please.
Another question also from Kwan. What equipment you use to hold your phone for time lapse?
Okay, that is a handphone holders, a clip on, and then with a tripod thread inside there. Yep. Using a normal camera tripod, just adjust it, let it run. Yeah, and of course, if you are asking what type of apps, you need to download the apps for it to run time lapse, because default I mean the smartphone doesn't give you a time lapse apps lah, so you have to download a third party apps for that purpose.
I think for new model have right time lapse.
Not so sure, but I know it's the long exposure you have. So I did not put a long exposure because I don't have time, but you can do long exposure also, not an issue.
Got time lapse. Vivo 21E got time lapse.
Yeah, I am using Vivo V21. It has a time lapse.
Yeah.
There's slow motion also.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many phones lah. I mean, I can't answer every phones lah. I mean, it keep on coming out every half a year or 1 year. I mean, come out new one.
And then question from you are cropping with Photoshop for the 100% crop. So now you should be 100%.
Okay. Yes, it's 100. Okay, let me show it back to you. Okay, you mean this image, right?
This image or got few
Okay. Okay, I mean, let me take example. You can see this is 100%, and then I screen capture it. So it
crop is just zoom in for 100%.
Yep. And the full image is this. I mean, you can see the navigation 100%. That's why I mean I leave it up. Everything. The only way I can show it to you is like screen capture my screen.
Yeah.
Even screen capture my screen, the resolution will go down, right? But you can see the detail is still there.
More question. Which app using for time?
I can't remember. Sorry for that, because that one I use it quite sometimes already. Recently I did not really use it that much because I purchased additional few more camera, DJI Pocket 2, Action Cam, few more. So I'm using different devices nowadays because I mean it's easy. I mean like Pocket 2, even Action Cam is a built-in apps already. I mean and they have a power saving mode lah. I mean that's the most important thing. I mean but if you're using your phone as this time lapse, right? You need to have a power bank because the screen drain the internal battery too fast. But for Pocket 2 and this action cam, I mean, they'll turn off the screen and then just capture the picture quietly, right? So it's a different ball games lah.
Okay. Another question from Jeremy Chu. What factor or features will lead you to choose your current phone for photography and why?
Sorry.
You can what factor or feature will lead you to change your current phone for photography and why?
Oh, you mean
What
my next
factor
phone? Is it?
or sorry?
I mean, the question is, what phone will I buy next, or
What features or factor will lead you to change your current phone for
Jeremy, are you there, Jeremy? Maybe you want to unmute yourself and
Yeah, Alan,
yeah, go ahead.
can you hear me?
yeah, can hear you.
Yeah, Alan.
Hi,
Hey.
hi, Jerry.
Yeah, my question is what factor or feature will lead you to change your current phone for photography specifically and why?
Okay, because currently, as mentioned, okay, I goes back to my slide. Hold on,
the last one you're using now?
Okay.
Right?
Currently, I'm using 3 smartphone. Okay, so Doremi, you can see that. I'm using S9 Plus. Because I'm phasing out my S7H, Poco X3 NFC, and Oppo Reno 5. In terms of changing phone right now, I don't think I have the budget to do that lah. I think I already burned my budget. In fact, there's another 2 more phone I did not show. It's around 1,005 phones I purchased, but for different purpose. So practically, for this year and next year, I think is burned up to maybe after Reno 5, this installment finish, right? I mean the contract finish, I would take another phone. But on that time, I think my budget, as mentioned, I have a specific things on my list, a must have. Okay. I mean, this is today target price. I'm targeting around 1.5K phone. Okay, retail or contract. Okay, processor. I mean, if I am today, okay, at least I mean future some sort like this type of equivalent processor, not too low. And for 6-inch Full HD is more than enough. I believe even like 2 years later, Full HD is for me is more than enough already. As a main phone, yes, prefer AMOLED. Okay, but it's if my secondary phone to play games, I'll buy another LCD. It's not an issue. Okay, and of course, I mean, in future, maybe, I'm not so sure. I mean, 6 gig 128 is the current platform. Even my current, the Reno 5 is already 8 gig and 256. In future, who knows? I mean, at 1.5K, this will increase, right? Maybe to 12 gig or something. I mean, Android always goes crazy on this hardware. But important, I believe that must have ultra wide angles lah. Okay. Hopefully the next phone, I mean, you'll have a raw file lah, because my current this Reno 5 as my main phones, right, doesn't give me the raw image. It just give me JPEG. So I think it doesn't really answer your question, but I hope it give you some ideas what direction I'm going to lah.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Exynos processor, is it any good?
Pardon?
Exynos processor.
For me, okay, this is my own experience using I mean S9 and S7H, and then Poco and Reno, right, and also Xiaomi lah. I mean these 4 or 5 phone comes quite close with each other. Exynos for me is like overheat very fast, because when I play Pokemon Go, during the event day, right, I need to play like 6 hours. And okay, sorry, Howard, he's playing games like that. So you imagine 6 hours. Samsung phone S9 and S7 always overheat and crash the apps. So for me, I would avoid Exynos for the time being. I mean, if you are not playing games lah, I mean, it's okay.
Samsung presently the market now Exynos, right? Or is it Snapdragon?
Yes, I mean Samsung also. I mean they have a license to do Snapdragon also, but okay. In terms of a phone, okay, let me go through this phone. You can see. I mean, I'm taking these three example. Poco is a Xiaomi brand and Samsung. Just for basic 100K phones, right? Samsung is the worst of the offering. They are using the worst processor for 1K. So I mean I'm not going to talk about their cameras whether it's good or not because I do not know. Okay. But in terms of a hardware comparison, if you're just hardware to hardware comparison, you are looking, it's like Samsung is the worst. It's HD screen. HD you can really see it pixelated, frankly speaking. And for 6-inch. Nowadays all phones like at least yep, sorry. Somebody got question, right? This one? Okay.
Every time, have you tried any for smartphone? Any recommendation? Or what is the maximum exposure that smartphone can do?
Don't understand your question, sorry.
Means be asking do you try ND filter?
Not really. I mean, if you're talking about long exposure, right?
Exposure.
This smartphone has this computationals to do long exposure for you, so you don't really need filter.
Then how long is the exposure?
The exposure is just like a normal light trail. Frankly speaking, you won't see you won't know yeah. I mean, it'll do a computational stacking for you in one output JPEG.
Okay. So, okay, say my photo, my normally 4 MB is JPEG. Any idea?
What's that? Sorry.
KK1 say his handphone photo normally less than 4 megabyte in JPEG. Any idea?
For me, I mean it's like you're using your camera. Imagine you're shooting JPEG like last time 6 megapixel, right? The picture also comes out like 5 to 6 mega. Sometimes if you're good lighting, right? So smartphone also, I mean, it's like 12 mega. You look at 100%, no issue. I mean, the detail is there, frankly speaking. But if you really want to make your file bigger, I mean, there's always software to upscale it lah. So I don't see that's a reason to say the file size for me is like how much detail it can host lah.
Any other question, guys? For Alan?
What about macro? Do you use phone to shoot macro?
Okay, macro, I mean, usually the 1.5K phones, right? The macro is kind of a bit sucks. It's like 2 megapixel. So I would say that forget it lah. Close up, yes. I mean, you can. I mean, for phone because of the smaller sensor, right? For example, okay, this leaf. Yeah, you can get very close, but you want to do up to like fly macro, all those things. I don't think 1.5K I have that particular features lah. I mean, even though it has, usually it's only 2 megapixels. So I don't think it can hold that much details lah. I mean, so not wanting to waste time on looking at it when you know the hardware is not really capable or built for that lah. But maybe in future macro they have like more megapixels or more details, all those things, right? Maybe it's something we can look into lah. But right now, usually smartphone they don't really I mean 1.5K lah, the category, they don't really look into macro yet. Does it answer your question?
Okay. Just want to understand only. Thank you. Because my phone have one feature is super micro, so not so clear lah, not so sharp lah.
Yeah. I mean, as mentioned, I mean, it's like it might be only 1 mega or less than 1 mega or 2 mega or something like that, or for the macro shot. So, I mean, it's like if you're zooming like 100%, I mean, for that type of resolution, usually you're koyak lah. I mean, not that. I mean, you can see on your phone 6-inch full HD. I mean, maybe it's acceptable level, but when you zoom in and look at computer, right? It might give you a different story lah.
Alan,
Yes.
in your opinion, if someone just use a phone to shoot, and then that somebody will claim himself or herself as a photographer, do you recognize that person as a photographer if it's purely just a smartphone?
For me, I look at the image. I don't care. I mean, whatever devices you use, as long as your image is presentable, why not?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I mean, I don't
because
think. Oh, sorry.
There are some. I mean, there are some school of thought that a photographer must have a capability or knowledge to use DSLR or MSLR. Yeah.
I mean, there's always a fight for this. Remember that when we're changing to digital, right? All those film folks will say those shooting digital are not photographer. I mean, it's like,
right.
Yeah, and now it's like the digital SLR people will say those shooting mirrorless are not photographer because they can preview what you see, what you get. Is cannot. I mean, it's one level and another level. I mean, it's whether you want to learn new things or not. That's the thing. Even I give you a smartphone, I mean, even though you are good in SLR, you might not be good in using phone photography. That is, but I mean, as a imaging content creator, I would say that for us, right? Use whatever you have and try to push the envelope. This thing, play around. And I mean, it's like, even though you can see, I mean, girl selfie, all those things, right? For me, it's a skill. If I give you a phone right now, I ask you to do selfie, can you do properly or not? It's not that easy, frankly speaking. It's still, you need to know the phone angle, all those things. That's why I mean, like, you don't look at the pretty girl, look at what they do and how they do it, whether you can do it or not. This is another question. Learn the skill that they put for you up front. That's why I mean, I always look at lightings and not just the picture. It's like how it goes and what is the content of the image that that photographer wants to tell.
Basically, it's a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. Any other question, guys?
Okay, for me, it's like a smartphone is I mean, it's very capable things right now. I mean, it's like a lot of things accessories, gimbals, holders. I mean, it complements your smartphone. Of course, as mentioned, I mean, certain things smartphone cannot do. I mean, very, very low light things without lights, noise all comes up lah. I mean, don't say it means like today you hear Alan say, oh, yeah, everything can do. That it is not. There is some limitation also. But how do you overcome the limitation? That is the most important question. But of course, I mean, if like let's say, I mean, like the Huawei P9 camera, I mean, if the image come out soft, right? There's nothing I can do lah. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, it's also depend on the genre, isn't it? Certain genre, I mean, like street photography, food, or documentary. I guess smartphone will do its best. But if you look at genre like what you mentioned just now, you were afraid of underwater. I mean, smartphone can, but you have to do a special casing to go under the water, or you want to use a smartphone for what? For example, for landscape, extreme landscape. So, I mean, there are certain limitations that certain genre of photography may not be so suitable for a smartphone. Like what KK mentioned just now, macro. I think macro smartphone can do a little bit, but not to the extreme part of macro.
Yeah, I mean, not right now because the attention is not towards macro right now. But in terms of extreme sports, it's really depending because there's all these holder already available. But the question is, do you dare to use your 1.5, 1.6K phone dangling or beside a car, or you just want to buy a few hundred ringgit action cam, stuck it in your car, when it fall down, long screen crack. I mean, not so ma. But if imagine you're using a 4K phone range, right? You just want to stick to do action positions lah. I mean, taking video 4K, all those things. If it drop, the screen crack is very expensive and very painful. It can be done, but is it worth it or not? But as mentioned, for my case, I did stick a lot of action cam, all those action cam, not smartphone, because it's very small, and I mean it's a bit more aerodynamics lah. It's really depending. I mean, you want to go underwater, shooting through drains or rivers. S7 and S9, yes, you can do that because it's a bit of waterproofing IP68. You can do that. No need without casing. But you don't do that with your Oppo Reno 5 lah. I mean, it doesn't have any IP68. You go and inside river, you're gone case lah. So, but I mean, in terms of I mean, like underwater, I mean swimming. I mean, like this with the tank, all those things, right? I mean, yeah, I mean swimming also. I mean, I can stand there, use a stick to go down. I mean, to take some picture. I mean, yeah, I mean, it still can be done.
Yeah, it's suitable.
Yeah, suitable. I mean, it's very small. I mean, compact. I mean, but then again, I mean, scuba, of course, those underwater photography. I mean, you have to scuba. You have to have a better lighting. I mean, that's the different genre for us to talk to lah. Yeah, I mean, even smartphone, it have its own limitation lah. I mean,
yeah. I mean, for talking about that, for business purposes, for example, you want to shoot an event or you want to shoot a wedding days, photographies. I'm sure that we can't just use a smartphone to cover the entire event. I mean, obviously we can, but I think perception of the customer may not be there yet. Perception of customer is that they expect you to have a good DSLR, come with fully equipped with flash and things like that. So that
agree with you.
Willing to pay you a couple of $1,000 for that kind of shoot. But if you pay you a couple of $1,000, but you come with one iPhone or come with one Samsung or come with one Oppo, I think the market is still not able to accept that yet. Yeah.
Yeah, agree. I mean, as mentioned, I mean, smartphones still have its own limitation. I mean, as mentioned, it can't have an accessory like splash, all those things, right? I mean, you really have to depending on LED, all those lighting, additional lightings to support. Like even if you're using cameras, I mean, we have to have flash, all those accessory together because certain indoors there's no light. We have to create lights to capture.
Yes.
So and also indoor, I mean sometimes you have to remember the smartphone sensor is small, but if let's say your setup there is good, I mean you can use even Pocket 2, frankly speaking. You don't need you can just turn on and do some shooting. It's remember Pocket 1, the sensor is smaller, something like our smartphone also, but it's really depending. I mean, but you don't you want to have a back blur, bokeh, all those things. Of course, sorry lah, smartphone cannot lah. There's still a limitation. The computational is not that good yet. I mean, we still need to have SLR. I mean, it's just like you need to complement each other when you're trying to do wedding. I mean, yeah. I mean, right now, drone shots. You can have a action cam put in certain place. Your camera, your gimbal, all those things. I mean, it's a lot of things play into getting the shot, into the video compilation. It's not as simple as that because you have a bulky camera you want to put on the table, so very bulky, right? You put the action cam there, shooting 4K, good lighting. Nobody gonna knows.
It's very true. Yeah, very true. Terry, you have some question there? You want to unmute yourself, Terry? Just ask Alan Diary.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, Alan, how are you?
Hey, doing good.
Very good. Just wonder about this. You remember when we took the Galaxy firework at the low light environment? Well, I just wonder, can we use our smartphone? Did you use before smartphone taking a firework during the low light environment?
Okay. For fireworks, don't really dare yet because first thing, I mean our fireworks in Malaysia is like not very long, a few minutes only. You like got it. You don't got it. See you next year, right?
Because I tend to sometimes like myself, when I travel with my family to overseas for a trip, we tend to use smartphone more than our DSLR. Because sometimes we may come across that certain low light environment, certain fireworks, certain light display environment. Then my daughter always ask me to, hey, daddy, when you take a photo, after I just wonder how this smartphone will perform.
Okay, in terms of let me reverse it. When we are talking about shooting fireworks, the other example I would say is like light trail. I mean reverse because it's fireworks. I mean a few minutes, so I don't really dare to try out because I'm controlling camera. I need to look. I want to have a better resolution. I mean unless it's like 1 hour fireworks. I mean it's different story lah. I mean I can use smartphone. I mean like fed up with SLR, then I can try other things, right? Yeah. But our fireworks is like few minutes only. I mean, it's like you get it or you don't get it. It's like next year. But I mean, if I reverse it like a light trail, my certain phone, I know my Poco X3, it does have this computational for long exposure. Because shooting fireworks also long exposure, right? So Poco X3 has this computationals for long exposure, but I did not see it for my Oppo Reno 5. Or my Samsung S9, but my Poco X3, yes, it does have this feature. And just now, I think there's another lady say also. I mean, her Vivo also have this long exposure compute. I mean, when we're talking about long exposure, right, it's mostly on the smartphone computational. Okay, it's doing a stacking on itself. Okay. So the quality comes out. I did not put it on my slide because I don't have time. Actually, it's quite good. The computational, the light trail. I mean, especially you shoot on this octopus bridge. I did try that. I mean, on this Poco X3 when I see this feature, and I'm quite surprised that the picture quality and the image, the restaurant side, everything is very sharp, and the light trail also is quite good. I mean, quite. If the car is moving, right, the light trail is very smooth. Of course, and also when the cars like stop jerking, it's also like stacking. You can see. So
you mean it's more computational? The smartphone is doing more computational than
yes.
our normal experience.
Yes. But then again, if you want to try to put ND filter to because the smartphone aperture is fixed, we can play with ASA, we can play with the EV. I mean, usually it's just a speed lah. I mean, a few criteria as mentioned. I mean, it's not like SLR. We have like 3 or 4 things to play around. So you can put a ND filter, try it, but I'm not so sure how's the quality gonna comes up like when you put an additional glass in front of a very small sensors. So but I did try it out. I mean on the feature on the phones only but not towards the more robust setup man. But that
Another thing is I also wonder about the low light sync because slow speed synchronize that normally we shoot in the evening, we want the ambient light to be in, then we have our main subject also we need the flash to steal it, as far as our fun subject.
Okay. This I think you know the environment, right? This picture?
Yeah.
Okay, this is I'm shooting using the raw file. I mean, in fact, I can change the color, temperature, everything but as mentioned just now, if I do 100% crop, I mean it's like edit 100%. You can see, right? Okay, it's a screen capture So I mean the detail, I mean the important for me is like, is the detail still retained or not? Other than that, we can play around already, right?
So what is the speed? Normally like this situation our
luckily stated there 1/15 seconds.
1/15.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Our
also
smartphone, we call it the fill-in flash. Our flash, you can't compensate, right?
Yeah, but then again, as mentioned, I mean, if you need to set up different, I mean, LEDs to fill in. I mean, if you really have the time to do that, but I mean, I just want to capture as an image only, I mean,
because normally when we travel with family, sometimes we see this type of scene very nice, at the low light environment. So we want to tend to have a family photo, or maybe your children's photo. Sometimes we use our the smartphone flash, then you will be overexposed, or maybe the front subject is okay, then the background, the subject is too dark, all these things.
Yep, understand. But that's why for this scene, you need to time yourself and open the LED, off LED, something like flash. Capture the behind scene, then second scene to capture this thing. But
LED, something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's more. I know that the timing is very hard, I mean, for this type of photography, I mean, it's just before it closed. I mean, 1/15 seconds, then it's like go the light.
So talking about like the slow, what they call second curtain, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, smartphone photography is not up to that stage, I would say that, but.
Because this is our expectation, when we normally we go to with our family to overseas or somewhere, we bring for holiday, when we capture a memorable photo, this is our expectation. Because normally when we play with our DSLR, such a nice picture, then what happened? We capture with our family. Oh my God, this is our picture.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, as mentioned, sometimes when we take out, I mean, smartphone, I mean, with families, I mean, we don't use SLR because why? I mean, it's like we think that that image is not really important.
Yeah. Because of another thing is because of nowadays, because of especially like nowadays we talk about picture with your family. We also want to be inside the picture. We all know when we take picture, we take for our children, we take for our family. We are not inside there. When we are inside there, we expect something that like we are getting.
Yes, I mean just like as mentioned, I mean. Smartphone, I mean, if you have a selfie stick or if you have a very long hand, I mean, yeah, play around. Yes, I play around with it. I mean, it's smartphone sometimes is not so intimidating like a big camera. I mean, like when people look at it, it's like, oh, okay, everybody have fun.
Because we I think over here everybody is playing around with the DSLR. Every time we capture the third party that makes the model picture, we are very nice, but we didn't have our own self nice picture. Right?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's very hard to get a very good picture. That's why I mean I have another folder taking other photographer when I see their post is good, then I try to capture and then you can see inside the folder if they ask for the high resolution, I just send it to them because I know that it's very hard for us to get I mean our own nice picture lah. I mean when we are taking picture, our post it's very nice, but nobody go and take our picture.
Yeah.
But I have a tendency of taking other photographer pictures when they are doing a very good position, all those things. Then, yeah, send it to them. I mean, like, and I also got a few couple of nice photos. Other people taken my picture and send it to me. It's like, yeah, I say, hey, thank you. I mean, it's like, I mean, it's something that I believe that a lot of photographers we tendency not to take other photographer nice picture.
No time lah, just no time.
So Alan, next time make sure Alan, next time you take for me, yeah.
Can, no problem.
Yeah,
Usually, I mean,
I shoot you also. I take for you.
In fact, okay, hold on. My Facebook, I mean, is the page. I think you already see. I mean, it's like I have that one folder just for photographers only. I put as and their devices. So hold on.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, as long, I mean, I know that you guys will appreciate that because we don't have good pictures. That's the thing. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, at the same time, maybe you want to share your Facebook link or your Instagram link, for those who want to follow Alan, you can do so.
Not that popular lah. Okay.
Maybe you have a problem with our phone, you can ask Alan to repair for advice.
I think guys one's a bit shy lah. I mean, for girls, I have more. Yeah.
You always capture girls only.
Yeah lah, that's the problem.
Okay, you can see here is all the when
cameraman in action, all the Sunseeker in action.
In fact, it's not Sunseeker only. It's other people when friends I see. It's like, hey, okay, your post is nice lah. So I just additional capture for them lah. I mean.
Yeah, I can see some familiar faces. All the Penang lang.
Yeah, I mean this most of it is Penang events lah. I mean, and also some outings, right? So, yeah, I mean it's like, why not? I mean, for my mentality, it's like we should. I mean, start taking friends when they are in a very good position lah. I mean, not the funny ugly position lah. We tend to do that only for guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, as mentioned, I mean, smartphone is one of the things. I mean, documentary, everything. I mean, it has a lot of possibilities lah. I mean, and it's getting better and better. I mean, it's like it's mentioned. You can see from a very terrible phone, the initial that we have, like Incredible 2, and then towards S4, that's good for outdoors, not indoor. Then terrible phone, of course, this one. And then S7 2016 onwards, we are getting a very good computational indoor and outdoors images. So don't put aside your smartphone. I would say that. I mean, try to capture a bit using it. Yep. If you got the good models lah, okay, because I'm not so sure which model is good, because there's too many. Vivo, there's a few models also. Oppo also have a few models also. Realme also have. Xiaomi also have. I mean, there's too many. So you want me to recommend? I mean, it's like unless you buy and we go and shoot one image. I mean, usually I only takes only one image will do. I already know we do a comparison. I mean, it's just like the I mean, as mentioned, my benchmark still S9 Plus. Okay, the quality, if it can equals or similar, I can consider already. I mean, my benchmark is still this, because even with this newer phone and this one, in terms of their standard camera, right, it still can't beat Samsung S9. But the price I'm paying like 1,000, 1.6. This right now the Samsung S20, S21 is like 4 or 5,000, right? I don't think I want to pay that high lah. I mean, I'm losing 5 or 10% image quality. I have no issue lah. And if you don't side by side comparison, right, you don't really know lah. And as mentioned, I mean, too many phone. I mean, you take one image, you do 100% crop, then you can know the qualities already, whether it's acceptable to you or not. I mean, that's the basic things.
Okay lah, guys. Any other question? Harley, was it? Harley is asking about how do you compare to the new iPhone?
Okay. For iPhone, I mean, I did try to find iPhone last time. I mean, with S7 and S9. In fact, I prefer S9 quality rather than iPhone phone quality. But the latest phone, I mean, as mentioned, I don't have. I can't really do much comments on it lah. But in terms of the ecosystem, I mean, if you are comfortable using iPhone, then proceed. But for me, I have a few scenario when iPhone doesn't work for me. Okay, the first scenario is 1 year I'm doing photography works for Petcong, a very big event in Penang, Armenia Street. So I got this contract works lah, I would say that. Okay, to capture all the image of those people from different countries, Taiwan or something. They come in by bus, a lot of buses, a few thousand people. So my next door shop is selling those imprint. I mean, to your cup, cap, all those souvenirs, right? I mean, whatever image you take, you just send it to them. Then they will tonight or the next day they will give it to you. But once in Armenia Street, I mean, the network got jammed. Too many people. Okay, and this girl, he has a customer using iPhone. He say, "Hey, I want to print this picture into your cup." They say, "Can. No issue." No, the customer is not using iPhone. Sorry, the girl is using iPhone. So he says like, "I need to transfer the image to your phone, right?" But the problem with iPhone, that model, I'm not so sure the current model, okay, that particular event, iPhone cannot accept Bluetooth from Android to iPhone.
Yeah, you cannot.
Yeah, and you only can use like data sent to iCloud or some, I mean, emails then to your phones only, right? That's the only way to get the image. But that particular moment, the data, the network is congested. So how is she going to take the picture from the customer? Is right? So her iPhone doesn't work for that scenario. So was mentioned to her is like, ask the customer Bluetooth to my phone. Then at night when I reach home, I will send it through email for you to print it at night. So I mean, for that, if you are doing business, right, if your network is not good, you're going to lose the business. If let's say the whole bunch of people, you got 100 people say, "Hey, I want to print this something, I want to send you this file," how are you going to get the business? So for me, that particular ecosystem does not, and also, I mean, maybe I'm used to Android ecosystem lah. So I mean, and iPhone does has its advantage. I don't say it all is bad, but I'm more used to Android.
Yeah, it's an interoperability lah. Basically, it's cross-platform.
Yeah,
where there will be a bit of struggle there. Okay. All right. I think it's 10:50. Wow, the longest session. Didn't expect that. Usually we finish at 10:30. Now it's 10:50.
I thought my session is going to be.
Story is very interesting.
I thought my this presentation is going to be very boring. I mean, it's like I mean, smartphone. Everybody have it. I mean, it's not something new. It's just I mean, I'm just explaining. I mean, for me to give you idea. there's a lot of things that you can do with your smartphone. That's it. Open your mind and you can play a lot with it if you really want to push your hardware. I mean, it's not just for playing games, apps, or just a snapshot. I mean, I know. I mean, it's like taking family pictures. Just usually we do that, but actually, I mean, I really push my phone towards is further capability. Okay, as mentioned, a few of my image I showed here. I didn't know just this week, two of them won competitions, smartphones category is and more and more competition on smartphone is coming. That's my thought lah. I mean,
Alan, show all your winning photograph lah. All your smart.
For those who want to follow Alan, this is his Facebook. Just I think just type in Alan Lim. You should be able to find him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my page is always pokok one lah. I mean, it's just to have fun lah. I mean, for me, nothing serious on my page lah. I would say that, and always. I mean, it's a page for me to give up my thoughts on photography and videography and other things lah. I mean, even on computers, all those things. I mean, I purchase. If it's not good, I just say it's not good. Why? The reason. If it's good, why? I mean, it's like, I make a mistake or I don't make a mistake. I share with you. That's it. I mean, there's nothing to hide. I mean, a lot of people's like a bit worried. They buy wrong things. I mean, they keep quiet, right? Then when you buy the same thing because your friend bought the same thing, then you say, hey, how come this model cannot do this and that? Then your friends only will tell you it's like that one lah. I mean, it's like can't you tell me upfront? This model cannot do this and this. A lot of people doesn't want to share. I would say that, but for me, it's like I would just share that. I mean, it's good. This is 1, 2, 3. If you're under this budget, this is what you're gonna get. I mean, I might make the wrong decision, buying decision. You can just talk. I mean, add on to my comments or something. I'm always open. It's like, oh yeah, I've forgotten. Yeah, I could have a better deal if I do this and that. But I mean, of course, give in how do I say, in a reasonable point lah, not because you want to win. Okay, because some conversation, I mean, like people just for the sake of want to win. I mean, you want to win, I let you win. It's nothing much. It's nothing much. It's just a conversation. But the most important thing is like I share with you my point. Hey, you can share back your point to me and tell me why you disagree, and you give me your opinion. And then again, I mean, as mentioned, I'm looking at 1.5K phone, ringgit phone, but you're giving me a comparison of 3,000 or 5,000 or 6,000 phone. We are talking at a different frequency already, right? So even like buying computer, I mean, of course, I mean, when we buy cameras, we have a certain budget what we want to buy. I mean, of course, we have additional budget. If your friend say, hey, you don't buy this model, you just add on top up maybe a few hundred, you're gonna get this is a better feature. And then it's up to you to think, is it a better feature or not? Right, just like I bought a Jade camera. Acer, you flip it up, become Jade. I mean, I purposely want to buy a Ryzen 7 5800H 3070 process GPU. I can get a cheaper 3060 GPU, but it's only a few hundred difference, so might as well upgrade it. I mean, I just top it out a bit and buy a better one. That's it. And this one is through my friends. I mean, selling this notebook. He said, hey, this is better. Only a few hundred. Only why not you get this one? Since you're complaining, you're doing video editing, all those things, right? You buy this model better. Then I say, oh, okay, really? A few hundred different. I can 3060 to 3070 is like it's much better GPU. So
yeah,
I mean,
agreed.
Yeah, I mean, it's called smart buying, I would say that lah.
Yeah, it depends on the budget, isn't it? Yeah, you got more budget, you can buy a better quality.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the one thing is budget, and second thing is whether it's worth the features you are paying for or not. I mean, if let's say, I mean, like iPhone 1 TB, if you are using the video, I think is the have a better codec, all those things, right? Yes, I mean the 1 TB 7K is good, but for us normal people usage, right? For us 4K, even with compression a bit, I mean it's like not an issue. We can still use it. But do you really need anything higher than that? That's the question that I cannot answer. It's really depending on you.
Okay, I think let's end the session. Thank you so much, Alan, for coming to our Yellowbone channel. Yeah, thank you for sharing with us all your valuable knowledge and experience in using iPhone. All right,
right.
Thank you, thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. Okay, good night.
Good night.